John, great to see you today. Thank you for joining me for a bit of chat. I think as we've spoken about Safe Work Month, it's such an important time in our calendar. You know, October represents a really clear opportunity for us to raise awareness about how do we try and limit the amount of damages and injuries that occur in workplaces. And often with these days, there's a lot of statistics and a lot of information that's brought forward to us. It's really quite alarming, and really like the theme this year. Safety is everyone's business. And business, we've all got differing degrees of capability. So keen to get your thoughts. You've obviously worked in this space for well over a decade, and you see where maybe things don't quite work out with safety, and how that sort of impacts on the people we work with. So do you want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thanks, Alistair. You're right. These aren't just statistics. These are people. These are fathers. These are mothers. These are brothers and sisters and partners and friends. We know we're going through pretty tough economic times as well, and more is being asked of employees in the workplace. And these people are often bringing their stresses from home into the workplace, and we're seeing more and more mental health claims as a result.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And we do see that in the statistics. And I like that you call it out, though, that it's actually about the people, not the statistics. A lot of these months and these awareness arrangements are obviously brought up, and they use things like statistics to really create the gravity for it. And there are some very big numbers in that mix, right? There is 150,000 serious claims every year. We're seeing the claims are taking longer to resolve, which in time is then costing more. So there's a lot of challenges that come with that. So it's not only businesses and people that are under stress, it's also schemes that are under stress. So it's a really sort of troubling or challenging time. And I think that's why the call is for, it's everyone's business. We've all got to play more of a role.
Yeah, absolutely. It's no longer just about providing staff with a bowl of fruit and a gym membership. It's about having conversations about people's mental health and providing the support they actually need at not just the workplace, but also home, because they go hand in hand.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, and it's often these conversations we hear about secondhand after, the events occurred, and you just sort of think, if only there was an opportunity to be a few steps forward of this. I've been a little bit further up the chain, and maybe we were a fly on the wall to these earlier preliminary conversations where you just start to see, the breakaways and these feelings of perceptions of frustration, because, mental health claims, whilst they only represent 10% of what goes on in scheme, they enormously dwarf what we see in the physical claim space. They are complex. There's so much that's layered into it, and that difficulty for then people to pick themselves back up and re-enter workplaces is really challenging. Things like trust and those really strong hygiene factors of work and working are damaged, right? So it's a really important thing for us to get right earlier. Where have you seen that work well? I might ask you, obviously you've done this for a long time. Give me some examples.
Yeah. So I think those workplaces where mental health is not a taboo subject, it's where employers are able to actually have those open discussions with their staff, having those regular check-ins. It's often not just those people that, we're seeing that are really struggling. It's often those people that are, maybe struggling quietly. The ability to reach out to them, to have those discussions, to work out how they're actually really going, I think that goes a long way to preventing injuries. I also think the use of technology as well, it's really gone a long way in reducing and even avoiding manual labour now. We see in factory settings more awareness of those repetitive strain injuries and better understanding of employees' functional and cognitive demands of the actual role as well. So employers are better able to manage that balance of the operational demands and also knowing what a person can and can't do. I think that goes a long way to preventing injuries.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, that risk management evolution has been quite significant. So it's quite interesting that even some of these statistics continue to roll on. What it kind of indicates to us is that where complications are occurring, that they're probably more significant than maybe in history, where a simple slip, trips and fall mechanism, claim duration maybe not as long. We're now actually seeing a nature of injury being longer in pattern for both physical and psychological. So, I think we need to keep evaluating that risk hierarchy. how do we try and introduce ourselves? Consultation, such an important part of what can happen. Talking to our people about what matters to them. Who are they when they come into work each day? Because as you've talked to, there's a lot of stress out there, that you can't look at a news feed right now and not feel like it's a little bit grim, right? So I think that's a really important thing to keep using that safety strategy that they're talking to about safety, everyone's business, get around the coffee table together, solve problems together. I think that's a really important step.
Yeah, I think those employees that are able to have that collaborative approach as well. It isn't just the work health and safety rep that looks after safety in the workplace. It's everyone's responsibility. It's it's keeping a lookout for your colleagues. It's also about you. If you see a risk in the workplace, then raising it. Talk to someone about it, because that can go a long way to preventing injury, or maybe having a look at a better way of doing something. These are the conversations that need to be happening. It's the workplaces that can do that have got that culture. They're the ones that I see perform the best to have less injuries for their staff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those types of organisations, right, they use opportunities like the Safe Work Month to then carry that forward. It's not a moment in time of we raise awareness for a day or a month and then we kind of just roll back into business as usual. It's that using it as a momentum changer. And all right, now we're going to consult. Now we're going to make sure that we have awareness, and we have awareness in our whole organisation. And we're going to create implementation groups. We're going to make everyone part of the strategy, if you will. So, I think they're probably the best organisations. And they use really simple strategies in my mind, like the Keep It Simple method. Yes, it works so well because there's a heap of online resources. There's lots of things that you can just continue to make these iterative improvements that as an organisation, hopefully you're less represented in these statistics, and hopefully Australians are less represented in these statistics.
But even employees speaking to other workplaces that are in the same industry as well, the challenges that one employer might be facing, another employer that's in the same industry, they're probably having the same challenges as well. Those employers that can collaborate across industries, even their competitors, they're the ones that are going to be reducing as many workplace injuries as possible.
All right, John, I'll throw one at you here. I'm a small business, right? And I'm trying to get myself up and going. I'm trying to do more with less, perhaps. I've got a lot of operational demands placed on me. We're hearing that in the media, that it's tough being in business as much as it's tough running a household. What kind of strategies or things would you point me toward to help me, on my safety journey?
Yeah, I think the first step, jump online. There's some fantastic resources now. The Safe Work Australia website, the different WorkSafe websites, they give some fantastic strategies to help avoid injuries. Or phone a friend, give someone else a call that might be at maybe a larger employer, or someone that has already experienced all these challenges before. They can give you some advice, because at the end of the day, everyone wants to avoid workplace injuries.
Yeah, spot on. So don't feel like you have to do it alone, I think is a really important part. That's the theme, right? Safety is everyone's business. And whether you've got absolute expertise or whether you're very new in your journey, the idea of Safe Work Month is that everyone becomes a part of it and develops that awareness.
But it is just the start. This is not just a Safe Work Month. This is an opportunity to raise awareness and create that culture for the rest of the year, for ongoing.
Well, I think we'll wish everyone a good safe tea.